Hi, this is Fazana again. I hope you've watched part 1 already and are ready to ready to tackle some higher level questions in this video. Let's try some questions. Oh, before we do, let's just have a look at direct proportion and inverse proportion. If two quantities are in direct proportion, as one increases, the other increases by the same percentage. So if it's in direct proportion, we normally write y equals kx, where k is the constant. Yeah, so k equals constant. It never changes. Yeah, and let's just try this simple example. If x equals 1, and let's say k was 2, yeah, so y equals 2x. If x is 1, then y would be 2, and if x becomes 2, then y will be 2 times 2, which is 4. Yeah, so you can tell they're in direct proportion because when x goes up, y goes up as well. All right? In inverse proportion is when one value increases as the other one decreases. So that's normally written as k over x. Okay, so let's again make k 2. So when x is 1, y would be 2 divided by 1, which is 2. When x equals 2, then y will be 2 divided by 2 is 1. So can you see when x goes up, y is actually going down? Yeah, all right. Okay, that's all you need to know. All right, so d is directly proportional to the cube of n. Okay, so it's directly proportional to the cube of n. So we just write d equals k n cubed. Okay, all right. As long as you've able to do that, then everything else falls into place. Yeah. Okay, Mary says when n is doubled, the value of d is multiplied by 6. Okay, so there are two ways of doing it. You can either make up some values. So let's just first do n equals 2 and k equals 10. Yeah, so d would be k, which is 10, times n cubed, which is 2 cubed. So you get 8 times 10 is 80. Yeah? Okay, so now we're doubling n, so n equals 4, but k is still 10 because it's constant. So you've got d equals 10 times 4 cubed. So that's 64 times 10 is 640. So can you see the value of d has actually multiplied by 8? Yeah? Okay. The more intelligent GCSE way is we say d1 equals kn cubed. Yeah? Now d2 will be k, but because we're doubling n, you've got 2n, but all cubed. Yeah? So the whole thing's being cubed. So if we expand that out, we'll have k times 2 cubed is 8, and then we've got n cubed. Yeah? So here you can tell the value of n, let's say that's 1. So can you see it's actually been multiplied by 8? Yeah? Okay. So it's been the value multiplied by 2 cubed. Yeah? And 2 was the n doubled. Okay, yeah, good. Next question. At a depth of x meters, the temperature of the water of the ocean is T. At depths below 900 meters, T is inversely proportional to x. Yeah? So, oh, they've actually given it to us. So they've already given us what the K is. Yeah. So T equals K over X. Yeah. Work out the difference in the temperature of the water, temperature being T, at a depth of 1200 meters and a depth of 2500 meters. Oh, so this one's quite easy. So we say, oh, when X is 1200, T equals 4500 divided by 1200, which will be 3.75. Yeah. And when X equals 2500, then T will be 4500 divided by 2500, which is 1.8. Yeah. And the nice thing about writing it vertically like this is, can you see when it says work out the difference, all you're now doing is 3.75 minus 1.8 equals 1.95. Yeah. Anytime you're asked to actually compare something or find the difference of something, especially when you have questions about, shop A and shop B, and where is it cheaper to buy it from, always sort of do it vertically, so then you can actually arrive at that point. Yeah. And then you say, oh, if something was worth £3.75 and something was worth £1.80, and you say £3.75 is greater than £1.80, so we'll buy it from there. Yes, we can always use that sign of greater than or less than. Yeah, so it's really useful putting it in that layout. All right. Okay, back to direct proportion. Okay, y is directly proportional to the square root of x. Yeah, so again, just let's write it. Y is k times the square root of x. Yeah, and they give us the values here, and you can see here they've given us the values of x and y, so we can find k. Yeah, so let's stick them in. So y is 2, and you've got k square root of x, which is 36, which works out to 6k. Yeah, and then divide by 6, so you've got k equals 2/6, which is a third. Okay, so let's rewrite it. Y equals a third times the square root of x, and that's what we're going to use. All right. Okay, so here y is 5, and then we go is a third and the square root of x. All right. Here, remember, it's like trying to rearrange the formula. Yeah, so I love doing this because it's so soothing. First I square rooted the x, then I divided by 3, so I go backwards and I'll multiply by 3, so you do the opposite and then you square. Okay, so let's multiply by 3 both sides. You've got 15, so that disappears, and you've got the square root of x. And now I'm going to square it. Yeah, so let's just write what we did. And we've got 15 squared is 225 equals x. Yeah, whereas in this case x is a, so when they ask us to find the value of a, we go a equals 225. Okay, yeah, so even if it's in a table, don't mean that it's any different. Okay. At a constant temperature, the volume of gas V is inversely proportional to its pressure P. Okay, so again, V equals K over P. Okay, by what percentage will the pressure of a gas change if its volume increases by 25%. Yeah? Okay, so what we'll say is let V1 be the 100%. Yeah? So we'll just make it 100. And again, I just take a nice friendly number for K, because I can see 200 would be quite a nice one. Yeah, all right. So over here, and then of course we'll make our next V 125. Yeah, and K will still be 200. Okay, because we're saying by what percentage. Okay, so then I prepare here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the percentage increase or decrease equals the change divided by the original times 100. Okay, so now I don't have to look at the question again. All right, so you've got 100 equals 200 divided by P, and you can tell P will be the 200 divided by the 100, which is 2. Okay. When V2 is 125, because it's increased by 25%, and K is 200, so we'll go stick it in there. So 125 equals 200 divided by P. So P will be 200 divided by 125, which will give you 1.6. Okay? All right, so your change is 1.6 minus 2. So you can see it's decreased. Yeah? Decrease. Divided by your original, which is 2 times 100. And that to get your percentage. So that'll be minus 0.4. Okay? And that will give you 20%. All right. Yeah, good. Okay, so that makes sense, doesn't it? If it's inversely proportional and the volume increases, then of course the pressure will decrease. Yeah, all right, good. So it's going down. Okay, next question. A pebble is thrown vertically upwards. Okay, now this is one of the questions where it becomes so wordy that you must try and just pick up the information that you need. Yeah? A pebble is thrown vertically upwards. It has an initial speed of u meters per second. Okay, the pebble reaches a maximum height of h meters before falling vertically downwards. It is known that h is directly proportional to u squared. Okay, so the first thing we write is h equals k u squared. Yeah. When the pebble is thrown with an initial speed of 10 meters per second, so that is u, it reaches a maximum height of 5 meters, which is the h. Okay, so let's go find k. So we've got 5 equals k times 10 squared, which is 100k. Yeah, and then if we divide by 100, k will be 5 over 100, which is 0.05. Okay, so let's rewrite it. So we've got h equals 0.05 u squared. Okay, and that's what we're going to use. Okay, so when they say find the maximum height, so it's trying to find h when u is 12. Okay, so h equals 0.05 times 12 squared, which will give you 7.2 meters. Okay, yeah. Okay, it says find the initial speed, so find u when h is 16. So we've got 16 equals, in there, 0.05 u squared. Okay, we'll divide by 0.05. So u squared equals 16 divided by 0.05, which is 320. And now if we square root it, u is equal to 17.9 meters per second. Okay, yeah, was that manageable, likable, lovable? Okay, if this topic feels a bit uncomfortable, please go watch parts 1 and 2 again. And I have a part 3 that I'm just about to upload. So please make sure you're happy with parts 1 and 2 before watching part 3. Okay? And as I said in my last video, remember the marks you get in exams are in direct proportion to you practicing questions. Okay? Okay. See you soon in part 3. And remember, you're in control. Until next time, take care. Bye.